Folks, could this be the answer to my trading issues? All the problems I've had over the years with trading, trying to find something that works, and could it be your answer too? So you're going to find out in this video a test that I ran to help me discover this. Also, we'll talk about how you can potentially implement it yourself. So stay tuned, folks. We've got this coming up. And the funny thing was, it all started 9 years ago and somebody gave me the answer. We're going to dive in and have a look at who that is first before we jump into the test results and show you what I'm talking about. So this was the episode here on Trading Nut. So it's a guy called Raymond Burchett. He was a futures trader back then and had a lot of experience in the trading space. I had no idea what he was talking about. And I'm going to revert back to this after doing these test results and showing you the test results that I took. And you're going to really get a good feel as to why I was probably so confused back then and how this has managed to help me going forward now. So let's dive in and have a look at the test I ran for myself and what actually transpired. This is my Trading Nut Live Telegram group. You're going to see here 3 $100 accounts. So these are fresh. Well, not they weren't fresh accounts, but they were $100 each on Black Bull. They're all live accounts as well. And you can see how I've denoted down what kind of trading I was doing on each of those. So the 799 was intuitive, 258 was intraday, and the 474 was an algo. It was a gold algo. So difference between intuitive and intraday and intuitive and strategy was very much that the rules were pretty strict for the strategy, and the algo is obviously very mechanical. Rules are completely mechanical, and then intuitive was like stuff that I know, that I've been taught by my private mentor, and knowledge that I've picked up across all the years of trading, bringing that to the markets to work out whether or not I get in and out of a trade. As simple as that. So we're going to go through what the results of this test was, and it wasn't straightforward. There were mistakes along the way, not necessarily trading mistakes, but just issues that I had to overcome with trade copiers, with trades being placed on the wrong account because of the way I was set things up, mistakes putting the EA on. There's pretty much everything that could go wrong did go wrong, but we still managed to get some accounts that do reflect what each of these approaches result in. So let's dive in and have a look at this. Now, if you're loving the show and thinking, where can I go and trade? Why don't you check out my prop firm sponsor, Blue Guardian. Now, these guys have been around for ages. They've been sponsoring Trading Nut for over a year. And some of the key features that make them so good is that they've got realistic profit targets for their challenge phases. It's only 8 or 4%. They also have a scaling plan up to $2 million, and they do profit splits of 85%, which is really high for this industry. They also have quick and reliable payouts and a robust reserve that make sure those payouts are as seamless and smooth as possible. Now, if you're looking to join, go and check them out. But first, grab my coupon code TradingNut, all one word. You're going to save yourself 25% off at checkout. There's a link in the description. Go and click that now. Right, let's get back on with the show. All right, so in front of you can see the first account. So I'll go into details as to which ones they are. So this was the first account, this was the second account, and this was the third account. Now, none of them are as they appear. So let's talk about them. So the first account was the strategy account. So this was the one I was hoping would be the winner outright because I liked the strategy. I knew it could give high R and it was kind of easy to implement. When the setup came, I'd be able to, get my orders in place and get out of the trade in an automated fashion. So I built an EA that actually gets me out automatically at the different levels that I wanted to get out at. Now, the issue with this is it goes through periods where it doesn't work very well. And this, I think, was one of those periods. And you could see here, we basically didn't win any trades apart from this massive win here, which actually isn't a win. This was just a deposit, and I had to re-add a bit more cash to the account because it had drawn it down so much that I couldn't take partials on that account. Added it, and then I started losing money again. And even here, I did actually exit some of the trades prematurely because I was exiting on the intuitive approach, and I knew that the move was over already and it wasn't going to reach its target. So I was kind of like, well, I don't want to lose any more money. I'll just close this. I'll move my stop to break even on these. So that was the strategy approach. Really disappointed. Basically drew down 2 accounts. Not great. So the next one, which one was this one? This was the Algo approach. We had some issues with this as well. In fact, it's only really traded probably just over a week. The first week, I was wondering why it wasn't taking that many trades. It took a trade at the start, won it, and then it didn't take many more trades after that. The problem was, which I discovered, was it was on the wrong price chart. So it was on an hourly chart instead of a 5-minute. changed that, and all of a sudden, bang, I think the first trade was a win. We grew the account by 50% and then promptly drew it back down to below the starting level. And we're now back over, I think, like $10 in profit. It is risking 10% on the account as well. So when you do start losing, the losses are going to be much bigger than the wins, especially when you start getting some growth. So I'm going to let that run and see how that progresses. The win rate was pretty good, 75%, 59% for shorts, profit factor 1.08. Okay, all right, just it's above break even. So this was the intuitive account, and essentially what I didn't think would work very well. It's interesting that, I didn't think it would work very well. I kind of went a bit gung-ho at the start, and I was just like, well, it's probably going to fail anyway. Next thing, I'm at like 50% of the account balance going, what the hell? This thing's working really well. All these trades that I wanted to take in the past but never took them for whatever reason, they didn't match my rules. They had one thing wrong. There was so many reasons I wouldn't take these trades. And in this account, I felt like I've got freedom to take the trade. I feel it's right. I know kind of what's going to happen, or I feel like I know what's going to happen, or it's high probability trade. I'm just going to take the trade. So it gave me a whole lot of freedom that I hadn't had before. Now, yeah, we had a couple of hiccups here. And then this loss here was actually part of the strategy account. And I'd made a change to my trade manager robot that I run on the price chart. And it's a long story. I'm not going to get into it here, but long story short, this trade belongs to the strategy account. So I use the Trading Mentor's best tool ever, right? This is the Trading Mentor's best tool ever. I'm going to show you guys what that is right now. It is Adobe Photoshop. So that's a joke. So, right, so I've got rid of that trade. I've moved the price chart up just to show you what it kind of really would have looked like had that trade not been in the account. Unfortunately, I've promptly lost a full trade just after doing this, and I pretty much broke even on two more. So let's just call it one full loss, and it looks like it's going to get stopped out. And so it will be probably one full loss on the day, which is going to take me down to probably down here somewhere. But overall, it's been doing really well. And I think I've kind of been a little bit hesitant here because the losses are much bigger. And I sort of was freaked out that this has gone so well. I've kind of need to just reset myself again to start trading this normally and think, like, I'm not just doing this as part of a challenge. This is probably going to be my new way of trading going forward. It's not just ended there. So let's have a look. The win rate's really high. Okay, so I'm getting out early on a lot of trades, but I just don't want to. I'm trying to keep the profits that I've got, and I want the account to grow. I'm not going to, just sacrifice something if price or a trade doesn't look like it's going to work out. I'm going to get out of that. So the win rate is over 88% here for longs and 83% for shorts. Overall, that's 86% win rate, and it's 65 trades. But I believe the way that MetaTrader does it is, if you take a partial, it will call out a trade, which is not really a trade. But it's, I'm trading a lot. I'm kind of taking maybe 2 or 3, maybe even 4 trades a day. At the start, I think I was taking a lot of trades. So it depends on the day and if the market's looking like it's, going to be flexible. I'm just looking at that trades just hit break even. So I've also added this into my swing trading approach. So this is what I've been doing in the Telegram channel that I've just shown you here. So every day I'm putting these swing trades up. Now was using a strategy, and it was primarily a strategy with a little bit of an intuitive approach chucked in there on AU only. Now I'm actually moving more to everything is intuitive. Yeah, the strategy creeps in there now and again because to be intuitive, you kind of need to use different tools to get in and out of a trade, and that's what I use, and let's call them strategies. But you can see here, I've only lost one trade in the whole time of doing it. None of these trades have actually gone over 1R, so that's one of the sort of secrets to not losing that many trades. And even the loss, it's only a small loss, it's 0.13, not even 1R. So total R for this is 3.01. I believe this is over the course of maybe a month, maybe a little bit longer. But you can see all that 3.1. If we just add these up here and see the total in the corner for the intuitive ones, it's actually taken out quite a good, given the fact there's not that many of them, it's 1.67. So it's more than half of the return that has been generated through the intuitive approach. And a lot of that has only been in the last week. So it's 1.24 in the last week. So I don't know if this is going to carry on working here on the swing trading, but I'm feeling more confident about it going forward. And I want to give you guys something to walk away with on this video. So if you are new to trading, brand new to trading, or even if you've been struggling for a while and you think, I'm going to give this intuitive stuff just a go and just test it out, see if what I already know through all the mentoring and whatever you've been taught along the years or your journey to date could be something that you can get to work if you take an intuitive approach to it. Now, let's just jump into a random price chart here. And what I'm going to do is give you a simple way to look at price. Now, this was actually touched on with my last video that went up this week with Richard Nasser. So go back and check that out if you haven't seen it already, because he goes into a lot of detail around this. But in the general rule of thumb is we're looking to get in with a trend trade. Right. So we want to go with the trend. The trend is like an indicator in itself. If you've got a trend, price is likely to, keep pushing in that direction. So if you can find a trend, that's probably the first thing you need to do. And now, what is a trend? What's price going in one direction, right? It's quite kind of simple. Now you can make that complex or as complex as you want, but that's the general rule of thumb. So most people can see something going up, something going down. That's all we're looking for, right? So the other thing with trends, right, is they usually pull back because they don't go up and down in a linear fashion. And to get one looking exactly like this is highly unlikely. So what we're going to do is marry this up against this. So if we just have a look at high and low points here and marry these points up, what we're going to find is that we kind of have identified our trend here, and you should be able to just go, okay, well, if I can sort of marry these points up, I haven't changed them all at all, and identify that trend, then I know that it's going to pull back at some point and then push, pull back, push. So if I can work out when is it going to pull back and then just get in at one of those pullbacks, then that's possibly going to give me a good chance to win a trade. Now, if I do that enough, I'm going to win more trades and obviously grow an account. So what we might do is just have a look at what if this goes wrong. Now, let's imagine that this goes wrong, right? So we've got our trend here. We push back up here and we go, oh, okay, here we go. We're turning around. We've got a bear candle here. This is where we're going to get in. Oh, no, it goes up here. We lose that trade. Okay, so that's going to happen now and again. And maybe you go, okay, well, let's just ignore that and try and get in here. We're going to go short again. Okay, at what point do you decide that this thing's over? So you got to come up with some strategies to work out that this downtrend has now finished. How are you going to do that? It's going to come with market experience. So a trader that helped me with this, understand this, was Nick Shawn. So if you want to check out his stuff, he does intuitive trading, really transparent trader. He's been on the show a few times, and he's discovered that being intuitive is probably the best way to trade. It was part of the reason I actually thought maybe I'll give this a go, because it's something I've always wanted to do. Big shout out to Nick for sharing that idea with me, and I know a lot of other traders as well. So that's one thing, right, is getting your market knowledge up, getting an understanding of how price moves. The next thing that really helps me is the fact that my mentor's given me so many strategies to get in and out of trades that I just never get a chance to use them all, but I do remember them all when I see the chart. And when I look at price candles, I can pretty much work out when it's going to move or when it's going to change direction. What trade should I avoid taking? When's a trade running out of steam? When should I move my stop to break even? All that stuff. Now, am I perfect at it every time? No, not by any means. But have I got a good feel for when a trade is the right one to get in on? Yes, I do. Have I got a good feel for when trade is the wrong one to get in? Yes, I do. There's like so many things that I know that I can bring into this trading. Now, I'm not going to be able to teach you all of those here, but if you do want to learn a simple strategy that my private mentor did teach me, then check out the link at the end of this video to go and find that video. We've got a bunch of stuff going on over there with this cool little strategy, which has helped a lot of traders get profitable out of the gates. Hey folks, what a view behind me. I'm at Black Bull Markets headquarters here in Auckland, New Zealand. Speaking of views, you can get TradingView paid plans for free at Black Bull Markets, saving you up to $600 a year. That's right, get either the Essential, Plus or Premium plans absolutely free, and all you need to do is trade from one lot a month at Black Bull Markets. And you can also get a 100% deposit bonus for your first deposit up to $1,000. All you need to do is click the Trading Nut link in the description below. So folks, if you do want to carry on following this experiment, see how I get on, still trading intuitively, swing trading, day trading, and with the algos as well, then please head over to the link under this video where you're going to get access to my Trading Nut Live Telegram group. And if you want to take things to the next level, then head over to Cam's VIP. So I've got all my stuff there, and even doing group mentoring sessions. If you do want help with your own trading, go and check it out all over there on Trading Nut and in the links in the description. Folks, as I mentioned, here's that video with that little strategy from my private mentor, and we'll see you in the next video.